the thing controlling your life isn't a negative thought? What if it's something you're absolutely certain is true? You see, you can argue with an opinion. You can change your mind about an idea, but you do not argue with a fact. And that's why some of the most powerful beliefs controlling your life are almost impossible to see, because somewhere along the way, you stopped calling them beliefs and you started calling them reality. And Seth warned about this more than 50 years ago. Last episode, we talked about the point of power being in the present. Not 5 years ago. Not when you finally get the relationship, the money, the recognition, or whatever else you've convinced yourself is going to make you whole. No, your power is here. It's right here, now. But that creates another question. What are you doing with that power? Because you can have all the power in the present and still use it to recreate the same life. That's the problem. In the nature of personal reality, Seth makes a distinction that sounds simple until you really think about it. He says, your beliefs about reality are just that. Beliefs about reality, and not necessarily attributes of reality. That is a huge distinction, because there's reality, and then there's what you've concluded about reality. And those two things are not necessarily the same. Take relationships. There is a difference between somebody betrayed me and people cannot be trusted. You see, one describes something that happened. The other turns what happened into a law. And once it becomes a law, you stop questioning it. A single bad experience transforms into a permanent rule. Same thing with money. Maybe you've struggled financially. That's an experience. But money is always hard to make. That's a belief. Maybe you haven't had the opportunities you wanted. Okay, well, that's an experience. But people like me never get opportunities like that. That's a belief. Maybe you've spent 20 years behaving in a certain way. That's history. But that's just who I am. That's a belief. And here's where it gets dangerous. The longer you believe something, the more evidence you can usually find for it. Seth actually describes this process. He explains that your beliefs influence your imagination, your emotion, your behavior, and the way you interpret events. And then your daily experience begins to look like proof that the original belief was right. Think about that. You believe nobody respects me, so you expect disrespect. Because you expect it, you're watching for it. You notice the person who didn't return the call, the person who interrupted you, the person whose face looked a certain way when you spoke. Meanwhile, evidence that doesn't fit the belief barely registers. Then you become defensive, maybe distant, maybe hostile. People respond to that, and eventually something happens that looks like disrespect. And what do you say? See? I knew it. Now you've got new evidence, which of course strengthens the original belief, which creates stronger expectations, which changes what you notice, and around and around and around you go. Seth puts it very simply in that same session. And so daily experience will seem to justify what you believe more and more. That's the cage. And the wild part is, from inside the cage, it doesn't even look like a cage. No. It looks like common sense. Now, there's an obvious question here. You might be sitting there saying, okay, well, some of these things aren't beliefs. I can see them happening. And this is where Seth goes much further than ordinary positive thinking. Seth says, your physical senses perceive a reality that is a result of your beliefs. Now, you don't have to blindly accept that. In fact, I don't think Seth's work is useful if all we do is replace one unquestioned belief system with another one. Test it. Look at your own life. Because even before we get into the larger metaphysical claim, there's something here that's very, very easy to observe. What you believe changes what you expect. What you expect changes what you look for. What you look for changes what you notice. What you notice changes how you respond. And how you respond changes what happens next. So even at the most practical level, your beliefs are not passive. No. Your beliefs are participating. Years later, in The Individual and the Mass Nature of Events, Seth gave an exercise that takes this idea even further. He tells the reader as an experiment, see your thoughts as real events. Just experiment with that idea, because normally we look at life from the outside in. Something happens, then I react. Someone does something, then I feel something. Circumstances appear, then I form beliefs about them. Seth asks you to temporarily reverse the direction, outside in or inside out. Maybe the inner event comes first, the expectation, the assumption, the image you keep rehearsing, the identity you keep maintaining, and the physical experience becomes, at least in part, feedback. Whether you accept Seth's entire model or not, that is a very interesting experiment. What changes if you stop treating every circumstance as the cause of what's happening inside you and start investigating what's happening inside you before the circumstance appears? Now, here's where I want to make this practical. The beliefs you need to find probably aren't going to announce themselves by saying, hello, I'm a limiting belief. No, they're going to sound reasonable. I want you to listen for sentences that begin with, I am. Sentences that begin with, people always, people never. You have to. Life is. Money is. At my age. Because of my past. And especially, that's just how it is. That one should set off an alarm, because maybe it is. But maybe you've just been looking at it through the same window for 20 years. So here's what I want you to do. Not for a month, not for 30 days, just tomorrow. For one day, just one day, pay attention to the statements you make about reality, especially the ones you say with certainty. And whenever you catch one, write it down. Then beside it, write 5 words. What? If this is a belief, don't fight it. Don't immediately replace it with, I'm rich, I'm beautiful, everybody loves me. That's not what we're doing yet. Just loosen your grip on the old statement. Instead of, people always abandon me, try, I have believed that people always abandon me. Feel the difference? You see, one is reality. The other is something you're holding. Instead of, I've always been bad with money, try this. Say, I believed I'm bad with money. Instead of, I'm just an anxious person, I've believed that anxiety is a part of who I am. That little bit of distance matters, because if you're something, what are you supposed to do about it? But if you're believing something, now there's movement. Now there's a choice. Last time we talked about the present being your point of power, but having power in the present does not mean much if every morning you wake up and use that power to rehearse the same assumptions you had yesterday. So don't try to fix your entire life this week. Find one sentence. Find one thing you've been saying for years about money, about love, about your body, your age, your past, other people, or yourself. And instead of automatically saying, that's just reality, stop. Stop. Ask yourself, is that actually a fact? Or is it a belief I practiced for a very, very long time? Because those are two very different things. If you found something in this video that sparked a thought, shifted your perspective, or just made you feel more grounded, consider showing some love by buying me a coffee. It helps fuel the channel, keeps the uploads coming, and lets me know that the content matters to you. The link's right below in the description or on my channel banner. No pressure. just appreciation if you're moved to support. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I am Tony Victory, a wolf uncaged. Thank you. Peace.